Right now in Hoosier News Source, the city's purchase of an armored vehicle has the city divided. We tell you why.
And fraternity social activities are back in full swing. Find out more about what a new Greek atmosphere holds for campus.
And I have one to expect rain and maybe even snow that could affect your spring break travel plans. Hoosier News Source starts now.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Hoosier News Source. I'm Kendall Yankowski.
And I'm Meg O'Toole.
To start off the show, we have Sarah McCorkle in studio with this week's weather.
Before we take a look at the forecast for Bloomington, let's quickly take a look at the image from NOAA's GO-16 satellite of the powerful nor'easter that wreaked havoc on the northeastern United States this past weekend. This impressive storm brought with it hurricane-force winds, major coastal flooding, and even 2 feet of snow in some areas. Now, if you're planning on traveling for spring break this weekend, you won't run into these bad of conditions, but we can expect some rain and maybe even some snow mixed in. On Friday and Saturday, the chance of rain is 30%. Friday night, the chance starts around the nighttime and then early into Saturday. And then on Sunday, a new low pressure system will come in through the area, bringing rain to Bloomington and much of the southern U.S., which could affect your spring break travel plans if you're headed that way. Now let's take a look at what the rest of the week looks like. On Wednesday, there's a chance for flurries early in the morning as you're headed to class. Thursday will be a nice day, and then Friday and Saturday and Sunday, there's a chance of rain and snow. And then Monday and Tuesday, to start off the beginning of spring break, will be a partly cloudy day at 45 degrees. And that's all for this week's weather. Hopefully by the time Hoosiers get back from spring break, temperatures will be on the rise and it will start to feel more like spring. Back to you guys.
IU Provost Lauren Rebel addressed the annual State of Campus today in front of the members of the IU community. The address provided updates from the Bicentennial Strategic Plan launched in 2014. Provost Rebel highlighted the initiatives in academic excellence, faculty development and research, and diversity and inclusion. Also, the efforts of Indiana University are working more closely with the rural communities of the state.
The Bloomington Police Department's decision to purchase an armored vehicle is met with criticism from many community members. Police Chief Mike Dekoff announced the $225,000 Lenco Bearcat at a press conference last month. Following the announcement, several community members interrupted the State of the City address to protest the purchase. Those opposed to the vehicle, including Bloomington's Black Lives Matter organization, feel that the Bearcat could militarize the police department. Black Lives Matter organizer Vox Booker says he hopes the department will consider alternative options.
When you add in that the process wasn't transparent and that there wasn't really any attempt to make it transparent till after our disruption of the State of the City address, that doesn't put us on the best footing, but we hope we can move forward from that.
Bloomington Police Department says the armored vehicle will help protect officers from armed suspects in high-risk situations. The city will make a final decision on the vehicle at the end of the month. This past Thursday, the ban against all fraternity social events was lifted. Indiana University fraternities were initially put on this suspension in November. It was self-imposed by the Interfraternity Council with goals of taking a more in-depth look at where IU's Greek life was headed and to strengthen the chapters. Social events resumed as normal on Thursday evening, and even though police were on high alert, there were no arrests at the fraternities between Thursday night and Friday morning.
Dick's Sporting Goods will no longer sell assault-style rifles, high-capacity magazines, or guns to anybody under 21. The decision came after the mass high school shooting in Parkland, Florida, to protect and keep citizens and children safe. Other stores such as Walmart, Kroger, and LL Bean have followed their example and increased the restrictions on gun sales as well. IUSA will be hosting their annual debate on March 20th, where student candidates face off to see who will best represent student voices on campus. To prepare for the debate, the IUSA Election Commission has been looking for a moderator, and the executive slates running for office are working on their platforms. The tickets traditionally answer questions about campus safety, diversity, sustainability, and other campus life-related topics. On Election Day, students will be emailed a link and can vote on the Be Involved website.
Coming up, we tell you how the Hoosiers did in sports this week.
Plus, more details on the approval of a new bike share system on campus.
These stories and more coming up. Stay with us.
And it's an honor to be here.
After suffering a season-ending injury in late March,
As you can see behind me.
Welcome back. World News reporter Courtney Sisk joins us with the latest lowdown. Courtney?
Thanks, Kendall. Government forces now control 25% of an area just east of Damascus in Syria. Many women and children are seeking refuge in Europe as the bombardment continues. Since mid-February, over 600 civilians died in that area from airstrikes and hospital bombings. Last week, the Syrian government denied UN aid to enter with 40 trucks carrying humanitarian supplies. 180 are dead after the world's worst listeria outbreak in South Africa. Officials linked the outbreak to a factory operated by Enterprise Foods in Polokwane. The outbreak infected nearly 1,000 people with listeriosis, which is food poisoning from bacteria found in contaminated processed food, meat, and dairy. The outbreak in South Africa is likely from a sausage-type meat called polony, and health officials are asking residents to stay away from ready-to-eat meats. Now, a little closer to home, people are talking about what was a breakthrough Academy Award season with milestones for the Oscars. The Shape of Water took home the award for Best Picture, making it only the second movie to win with a credited female screenwriter since World War II. And Jordan Peele became the first Black writer to win for original screenplay with his film Get Out. That's all for this week in World News. Meg, Kendall, back to you.
Students can expect to see a few changes coming to IU's campus regarding transportation, more specifically with bicycles. IU and the City of Bloomington have finalized plans for a bike share program to come to campus. After years of consideration and almost 2 months of contract negotiations, the city and campus signed with Zagster, a bike share program used in over 200 other colleges and cities. The service is expected to begin by the end of the spring semester and will cost $1 for each 30 minutes of bike use. Indiana Athletics had a busy weekend full of competition. IUS-TV sports reporter Joe Cantor is here to tell us how the Hoosiers performed.
Thanks, guys. March is an exciting time of year in sports, and not just for basketball. The Indiana women's water polo team is ranked number 10 in the country, and they picked up a pair of big wins in the final day of the Indiana Classic. Goalkeeper Jessica Garrart racked up 16 saves in 2 matches. That'll make her coach Ryan Castle very, very happy. It was a huge day also for Sarah Myers, who recorded the 100th goal of her illustrious Indiana career, as Indiana defeated Virginia Military Institute 14-9 and Marist University 10-3. It's also an exciting time for Indiana baseball team. The Hoosiers are 9-2 on the young season and earned the number 14 ranking in the country after winning 3 of 4 games on the road against previously 13-ranked San Diego. The Hoosiers had their home opener today against the University of Cincinnati, so make sure you go out and support our Hoosiers. Finally, need an instant classic basketball game in March? And we have one for you. IU women's basketball played in the Big Ten tournament against Michigan State. This one truly defined March Madness, longest game in the Big Ten tournament history, men's or women's. This one was back and forth the whole time. We start in overtime already. A buzzer beater by Michigan State's Shea Colley. I got the notification on my phone, thought it was over, but wait, the clock froze on 2.5 seconds, so the shot was called off. We would go to a second overtime where Amanda Cahill hits a late shot, so on and on we go. And in overtime number 4, once again, it is Cahill who hits 2 late free throws to give the Hoosiers a huge win, 111-109.
So you're telling me 4 overtimes?
4 overtimes, over
Wow.
2.5 hours of basketball.
Oh my God.
Craziness.
Oh man, that is crazy. And with Amanda Cahill hitting that game-winning free throw shot, I mean, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's sad her entire bus of seniors, but a phenomenal game. Way to start off March strong.
Oh yeah.
March Madness.
All right, thanks, Joe. Well, that's all we have for you this week. For more campus and local news, visit our website at iustv.com.
And like us on social media. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at IUSTV News.
From all of us here at IUSTV, thanks for watching and have a fun and safe spring break.